Hello everyone, I'm back with a new video. Today I'd like to talk about my new favorite format, Gensys. Unfortunately, not many people are playing it here where I am, so I don't really have that many, other than, local tops, which I don't know if you can count those as big tops, but I've been working on this deck for a very, very long time, and I'd like to share it with you guys, this new innovative take on Voiceless Voice. So first off, let's get started. You play 3 low, Prayer of the Voiceless Voice. This is your 1-card starter and it costs 0 points. So we play 3. It is basically a 1-card starter. We have a almost 1-card starter in Saffira, the Dragon Queen of Voiceless Voice. We play 3 of that as well. We play 1 Sauravis, Dragon of the Voiceless Voice, because the problem with Voiceless Voice is that your end board is not really strong, so we need to play these extra pseudo bricks, semi bricks, to make it stronger, because even in Gensys, the decks can put up like basically FDK boards. We need something that can kind of beat that. I'd say Voiceless Voice is kind of a mid-rangey strategy. And now to kind of buck the trend, I know the points got taken down on this card, but we play only 1 Barrier of the Voiceless Voice, and you'll see why. This is the true 1-card combo, but we only play 1, and you only actually ever need 1. A lot of the decks main deck back row hate, and so playing only the 1, you'll be able to recur it with the other continuous spell, but we'll get to that in a sec. We play 2 of the Ritual spell. This is a very standard ratio. I tried playing 3, but you're going to brick on it. You cannot open pure engine. Voiceless is not like Mitsurugi. You can't just win off engine alone, so we have to kind of mitigate our engine a bit and play more of a mid-rangey strategy. Next up, we play the true heart and soul of the Gensys version, which is 3 Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. This is both a ritual spell, a recursion spell. It can add back from banish, so if they Cosmic Cyclone your barrier, like you only need barrier for the search. Honestly, the target protection never comes up because the good target cards like Imperm are too heavily pointed, so everyone's on Illusion Gate, everyone's on Breakers, so honestly playing more than 1 barrier is, like, you can do it, but it's just not worth the point investment because the barrier will let you play, but it ultimately won't let you close out the game. Next up, the only 3 ritual monsters we play are the 2 Skull Guardian and the 1 Sauravis. You can play 3 Skull Guardian, but I found that in the grind game, it does come up, the 3rd Skull Guardian, but there are a lot of games where you will brick. Like, we are not Mitsurugi. This is like Voiceless Voice at the end of the day is a OG ritual deck. This is meaning it's a 2-card combo. No matter what, you will need to open, a ritual monster and a way to conduct the ritual summon. And actually, it's even worse than a 2-card combo. You actually need a 3-card combo because you actually need another card that can send as cost. But Skull Guardian, very, very good, very important. You need to play it. It is the boss monster. It is the end board piece. So we play 2 mainly because you can tag it out with the ritual spell. So we play 2 Skull Guardian. You can consider putting in another one if you would like. I've tested it. It does come up in grind once again, but it is not necessary if you basically put up the regular end board. Next up, we play 1 Radiance of the Voiceless Voice. I have tried bumping this up to 2 or even 3 because the format I thought was a bit slower. It did come up, but sometimes I would lose because I would open 2 of the trap. It's just, the format is just too fast. Like, I thought, like when Konami was showing off Gensys replays or stuff at the YCS, they showed that people were resolving Mirror Force, and then when you resolve Mirror Force, you can win. So I was like, oh yeah, the format's a lot slower, so I can play, a trap that is like pseudo engine. Like, this is technically a 2-card combo. Like, you can summon low from deck. Like, there's some stuff you can do with this, but ultimately the format is actually pretty fast. So we can only play 1. You could bump this up to 2 if you don't have any other cards you can put in that are pointed, but suffice it to say, I think 1 is enough. Next up, the 1 Pre-Preparation of Rites. We want to minimize the amount of main deck engine points as possible. You could bump this up for more consistency, but honestly, Voiceless Voice doesn't lose to bricking because you didn't see any combo. It dies because you see like 3 ritual monsters and no way to ritual summon, or you see your 2 ritual spells and no way to ritual summon. So pre-prep doesn't really change the math on that too much because you still have to play the 2 Skull Guardian and the 1 Sauravis. It doesn't change how you're going to brick. You have another starter, yes, and even so, it's kind of a half starter because it's not like you're adding Habakiri. You still need another card to send for fodder. So I'm not too big a fan of pre-prep, but if you bump pre-prep up to 3, you could consider playing the 3 Skull Guardian, because if you open the Skull Guardian, then you can add another Skull Guardian and use it as ritual fodder. So I would recommend play more Skull Guardian if you play more pre-prep, but we don't need this. This is all the Voiceless Voice kind of engine, and I will show you guys the spice that brings it all together in a coherent package, so we can play non-pointed cards. So the spice that brings everything together is going to be Vingolf's Blessing. So what does this card do? So when you activate this card, you can dump any level 4 or lower fairy from your deck to the grave. So the idea is that you activate this and then you dump low. But here's the second effect of this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a fairy from your grave. So if you couple this with the 3 MST, a Twin Twister, a Eldlich package, you can basically activate this card, dump low, pop it yourself, and then summon out the low and then perform full Voiceless Voice combo. Not to mention the fact that this actually combos really well with our 3 of Blessing. So if you open Vingolf with any of these other cards, then you are basically access the full Voiceless Voice combo. And this kind of plays into the 2-card synergies that you see a lot in the deck. Like there are random things you can do where dumping low will enable you to summon it back via Skull Guardian, and then you can use your Skull Guardian search on, say, a Sauravis. So we just want a lot of ways to put Vingolf into the grave. So for those of you that don't know, the Eldlich package, in my opinion, I've been playing a lot of Gensys, is basically Fiendsmith in Gensys. This is the Fiendsmith package of Gensys. It takes 4 main deck slots. You have a pseudo starter, which is Eldlich, and your main starter, which is Delta. So what Delta does is if you activate it, you send Eldlich from your deck to the grave, then you activate Eldlich's effect to send Delta to the grave, summoning himself, and since Eldlich adds himself to hand and then summons himself, you can add Delta back to hand. So this gives you the extra Delta, which is fodder for Twin Twisters. We side the other Twin Twisters, by the way. This gives you card advantage in hand, and if you, unfortunately, or if you, on the crackback, you can actually activate Delta and then target a zombie monster you control and then summon a zombie token. This will be relevant because we actually play the Fallen Angel and Mad Golden Lord package. Not to mention the fact that Eldlich, in a pinch, the Delta package can act as ritual fodder for Pre-Preparation of Rites, or it can act as ritual fodder for Dragon Queen of the Voiceless Voice. Once I go over the extra deck, I'll show you how you can actually use this plus Eldlich to access the Mad Golden Lord, which basically adds destruction protection from to your end board. I mean, it's not everything, but you're gonna have Mad Golden Lord, which is actually really hard to out because you're gonna have Barrier, which will give Mad Golden Lord target protection. He's gonna be basically Chaos Max or Dragoon. He's gonna be super hard for them to out in Gensys format. Not to mention he's 3,500 and he has permanent Snatch Steal on him. So this is the secret sauce. You got Eldlich, you got Vingolf. Vingolf plus any one of these. You can MST your own Vingolf. You can Twin Twist your own Vingolf. You can Eldlich your own Vingolf. You can use Blessing on Vingolf. There's so many things you can do to send it to grave after you dump low to summon back low. Or you can just discard it off of Twin Twisters and then use the effect to summon back. This card is extremely good. The only reason why they don't play it in Advanced is because it's a 2-card combo, but I'm maxing out on 2-card combos here. The format is definitely slow enough for us to do that. Next up, for the non-engine we play, so as you can tell, because we're doing the Vingolf package, we actually have a lot of space for non-engine. If you are scared of bricking, you can cut one of the following Drolls for a Pre-Preparation of Rite, because right now they're 20 points each. Droll basically is the godsend of this format. I've won so many games off of Droll alone. Like, really, Skull Guardian was there to clean it up, but Droll on its own ends so many turns because people want to have fun. I hate to say this, but people want to have fun in Gensys, and what's more fun than playing your pet deck that searches a lot? So you play Droll, and then you basically end their existence. You Droll them, and their turn is over. It's a trap you can use on your turn. It's a trap you can use on their turn. If you have literally Skull Guardian plus Droll, you let them get their 1 search off, you Droll them, and then it's over. Like the 1 Omni, they can't play. Their decks just aren't strong enough. So highly recommend the 3 Droll. I might update the points later. You could try playing 2 Droll, but honestly, seeing Droll on its own is enough to win locals, basically. Next up, we play the Fleurdelis package with 2 Dogmatika Punishment. So Fleurdelis, if your opponent controls an extra deck monster with 2,500 or more attack, you can special summon it and then set a trap, and then you can then activate the trap. The trap is only live if they control a monster from the extra deck with 2,500 or more attack. But honestly, this package has won me so many games. Even though I'm playing 2 Punishment, there have been times where I open 2 Fleurdelis. So turn 0, I Fleurdelis them, I set my Punishment, I Punishment them, and then on my turn, during my draw phase, I Fleurdelis them again, and I set my second Punishment, and I have double Fleurdelis, and then I can go into my Voiceless Voice package. Not to mention the fact that Fleurdelis is light, which is really important because your ritual spell can only summon if you send a light monster for cost. Only Saffira, which also is combo with Eldlich. Like, these cards are fodder for your Skull Guardian. I believe, actually not by I believe, I know Saffira is the only one that doesn't care if it's light or dark. That will come up in a combo I'll show later, but this is a really strong light package in Voiceless Voice. You're basically just playing all the good stuff. Next up, we have exactly 9 points left. I play 3 Book of Moon. So I'm taking a hybrid board breaker and hand trap approach, because if you Droll them, having a Ghost Ogre, like before I tried Ghost Ogre, I tried DD Crow, and honestly, they felt underwhelming because if you Droll them, they're ending on a half board. If they're ending on a half board, you just Book of Eclipse them and they're dead. Not to mention the fact that you can conduct a ritual summon with set cards. So for example, I actually played against someone who had enough space for, not Imperm, but for Valor. I normal summon my low. He goes Valor. I go Book of Eclipse. I Book Eclipse my low. Low resolves because low is now face down. I can then tribute the low to conduct my ritual summon. So highly recommend the Book of Eclipse plus the Droll combo. Droll is basically the only hand trap that matters. This is a turn-ending hand trap that can go good. That is good going first and going second. I've literally never sided this out. I've never played any matchup in Gensys that required me to side this out. You might be worried about Book of Eclipse into Odeon, but honestly, I just fire off the Book of Eclipse and then maybe I MST it to make sure it resolves, because if you have Book of Eclipse, eclipsing their Apophis, the Swamp Deity, and their Man with the Mark so they don't have destruction protection, it does come up because that way we play so much back row hate that if we have another MST, if they try to negate with Apophis the Serpent or the Swamp Deity, we can just MST their Serpent or MST their Swamp Deity, so when it checks on resolution how many continuous traps are on the field, it'll see that there is only one, of course, itself. So, or it doesn't even resolve because you pop it itself. So highly recommend this ratio. So Voiceless Voice, you like, I see some people playing like a lot of anti like towers, like big body hate. You don't have to worry about that. You have Skull Guardian. Skull Guardian is a house. He just kills everything. Not to mention the fact that we have the Eldlich package, which I'll go over now. So let's go over the extra deck. So that was the main deck. It's exactly 40 cards. We want to see as many 2-card combos as possible. Once again, I want you guys to understand that Voiceless Voice is a old school ritual deck that is 2-card combo based. So even if you add another Skull Guardian, even if you add pre-prep, you will still brick the same way. The ratios dictate that you must play 2 Skull Guardian at a minimum. So if you open your hand and you see Skull Guardian, Sauravis, MST, you're bricked and you have no choice but to play this. So I focus on the 2-card combos as much as I can. Just make sure you ensure your cards don't clump. I know if you play, if you're playing in a tournament, sometimes you'll have both Skull Guardians in the grave. Just make sure to unclump them. I'm not saying you should stack your deck or anything like that, but just make sure you shuffle and randomize properly. Don't let all your rituals come together because it's definitely screwed me up in some local instances. So for our extra deck, we play 1 Lunalight Perfume Dancer because we are playing the Ultimate Slayer package. Honestly, this can be a rank 8. If you have a rank 8 that's non-pointed, unfortunately I do not. You could play like Coach King or something. It actually came up in a sense where I had 2 Dogmatika Fleurdelis and I summoned 2 Dogmatika Fleurdelis, and they actually negated punishment twice, and I could have overlaid for like a rank 8, but obviously I didn't have any rank 8, so I wasn't able to do that. But you could switch this out for a rank 8 if you wanted. No one plays Lunalight. This is just funny because I can throw, this is just funny because, you know, sometimes people like see this in my extra and like, why are you playing this? And I tell them it's because it stops Liger Dancer, so this is fun. Next up, we play 1 Changying. I was on Ghost Ogre before, and you can make this with Skull Guardian, but I am not on Ghost Ogre anymore, so you could probably cut this if you want. but I keep it because on the off chance I have Mad Golden Lord and I steal a tuner, you can make a level 10 synchro. It has almost never come up, but there we go. These are basically flex spots. Now for the non-flex spot, we play one pack bit. This is the unpointed Ultimate Slayer target for synchros. We're going to push something back with pack bit. Next up, we play 2 Valon. This is the unpointed XYZ target for Ultimate Slayer. It lets you pop a back row in addition to spinning back an Xyz monster. And then we play the most value ones. These are 2 Fossil Machine Skull Wagon and 2 Fossil Warrior. This is basically Entis at home. This one pops a monster. It's Ignition, so you have to send it to grave, and then on your turn you will banish it and then pop a monster. So usually if I am playing Ultimate Slayer, then I'll send these because this will be my turn. If it's Dogmatika Punishment, I'll try to send Valon to pop a back row, because I want you to understand that in Gensys, back row is alive. There's a lot of back row. It's not quite Mirror Force level. Oh, Pack Bit's also a good send to off of the Dogmatika Punishment. But back, once again, we're not quite Resolve Mirror Force level of slow, but a lot of decks are pretty layered. They use a lot of back row. Jirak has the board wipe trap. You play against another Voiceless Voice player, you can hit their back row. There is a ton of back row. Obviously, Odeon, you can use Dogmatika Punishment, send this, try to attempt to pop Man with the Mark if they don't have it set up already, or Apophis if they don't have Man with the Mark set up already, but then use this to pop the back row, unless they've obviously searched for Lord of the Heavenly Prison. This is my spicy tech that's really funny. This is Krez the Gowling Glutton, but basically all you have to understand is what he does is once per chain, he is a Rise Heart. So once per chain, if they activate a quick play spell or any spell card, he can attach it behind him. So sometimes, okay, as you can tell, I have a lot of back row hate because there's a lot of Odeon players at my locals, and it also combos well with Vingolf's Blessing. But basically, if they activate something, you can then suck it up. You can just attach it to this card directly. I think the only time I've ever made this to sacrifice 2 Skull Guardians was we were in the grind match against Odeon, and instead of keeping my Skull Guardian, I decided to keep this guy, and it actually came up because they were on Book of Eclipse. They had Book of Eclipse, and they had the field spell, but this guy's immune to whatever he sucks up. So the Eclipse, I suck it, everything gets booked except for him. They activate the field spell, I suck the field spell, and then that's it. They literally have no other play. So very, very situational, but when it does come up, it's extremely strong. Next up, we have one Big Eye. Almost never comes up. Once again, you're almost going to make this over Big Eye most of the time, or you're not even going to access the extra deck. And finally, we're going to use the Eldlich package, which is, in my opinion, Fiendsmith for Genesis. I highly recommend you pick up this package if you haven't. So when you summon Eldlich, you can contact Fuse into the Fallen Angel, and then if Fallen Angel goes to the graveyard, you can summon Mad Golden Lord or Eldlich from your graveyard for free. You can just summon them for free, and he is a house. He's 3,800. Cannot be destroyed by Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. And then if you have Barrier of the Voiceless Voice, he can't be targeted either. And here's the best part: if you have access to Saffira, you can go Saffira, sending Fallen Angel for ritual cost, and then summon your Skull Guardian. Chainlink 1. What's this called? Chainlink 1 Skull Guardian, Chainlink 2 low, and then Chainlink 3 Fallen Angel to summon Mad Golden Lord. I highly recommend this package. It's been goated for me, especially in simplified game states. When you drop the Eldlich in simplified game states, he's 3,500, cannot be destroyed by battle, and then on the crackback, you replace Eldlich with your Fallen Angel because you're going to have Delta in rotation, and Delta adds itself to hand every turn, and then you summon Mad Golden Lord. I have won multiple games, basically off the back of Eldlich, and then forcing them to use Dominus Purge, basically using all their hand traps, Droll, whatever they have, to stop my Voiceless Voice. And then you just kill them with big Unga Bunga Man with maybe an MST to back them up. So this is the extra. Basically, the only thing I would really think about changing is the Chengying and the Perfume Dancer for maybe a rank 8. But otherwise, you could play another pack bit. There's a Synchro Admixter that is unpointed too, that spins. I believe it's kind of like a Cloud Beast, but you could play that as well. But they're all good because they also double as Dogmatika Punishment targets. So that's the main deck. Next up, we have the side. We play 2 Twin Twisters. Once again, you rule the monster area. Like, you are not afraid of monster interactions. Skull Guardians 4100, you have Eldlich, you have Destruction, you have Target Protection, you have everything. The only thing you're scared of is back row. Back row is too scary against you, so we play the Twin Twister, not to mention the fact that we have discard fodder off of Blessing, because Blessing can add something back from grave. And you also have Vingolf. If you discard Vingolf, it'll still proc. You have Blessing, add back stuff from grave, as I said earlier. There's just many ways to get cards in your hand. You also have Delta. We are very scared of back row. If we can clear the back row and we summon Skull Guardian, and the way, even if we don't summon back the low, 4100 Skull Guardian with low and grave is usually enough, and I think a lot of decks have a hard time outing it. Or if you just have Eldlich, it's really hard for them to break. So we play 2 Twin Twister. We play 2 Kumongous. You might be wondering, okay, if you're so scared of back row, why are you playing Kumongous? The real reason is because I couldn't find anything else that was unpointed to play. Going first, you don't really need like Mirror Force or anything, in my opinion. Like, you could play more consistency cards. I know some people play Cambi. You could try playing Cambi in this variant, but obviously you won't have access to Eldlich, so I don't know how value it is. This is mainly going second if they play like Evilzo or Lars. If you're up against a negate deck, not just the Towers deck, you can just drop Kumongous, trade 1 card for the negate that is unpointed. If you have Illusion Gates, I'd play Illusion Gate over this. I just didn't feel like spending money for Illusion Gate for a Genesis format. Next up, we play 3 Skullmeister. You could try main decking this if you don't want to main deck the back row hate. You could replace the MSTs with Skullmeister. At my locals, it's mostly just Odeon, so with Tyrant's Throw, so I would recommend, I personally just side the Skullmeister, but if you're playing against a lot of Monarch, you could main deck the Skullmeister. It does come up. Next up, we play the spice of the format going first. It is Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Basically, you discard a card and you negate a spell card, and if that spell card can no longer be used for the rest of the duel. So if they have a Temple or Treasures of the Kings, you just negate it and it's over. If they have Raigeki, you negate it, it's over. Just make sure you save your Skull Guardian for like evenly matched or something if people are playing it. So very good. I would consider bumping it up if I had another copy. The main flex spot is Kumongous. You can replace Kumongous for another copy of this, or you can replace it with Illusion Gate if you have it. Next up, we played 3 Shared Ride. This puts the fear of God in people. So basically, you set Shared Ride, you Shared Ride them, and you have some hand traps. You have Droll if you want to cut them off after 1 draw. You have Dogmatika. If you draw into your Dogmatika package, it's very, very potent, and you're just accruing more advantage. So basically a side deck staple in Genesis. I don't know if they're going to add points to it, but that is that. And then the 3 Ultimate Slayer. Honestly, Ultimate Slayer, even at 1 point each, I think it is worth playing. They're still, unless they put points on every single extra deck monster that is sent to grave that does something, I would play Ultimate Slayer no matter what, because it trades for so much. There are so many monster heavy decks that you just use this and you're able to out so many problematic cards. Some people in my locals see me playing Eldlich, so now they're also on Eldlich, so this helps me out their Mad Golden Lord, so I can summon my Mad Golden Lord. And so yeah, that's the deck profile. Unfortunately, I don't really have any like, I don't go to any big tournaments, and not many people play Genesis around here. But I have some like local tops, but other than that, this is an extremely fun deck. I think people are still crutching on Archfiend are incorrect. I don't think you need that at all. You just want to play this package with the Dogmatika package. Gaining access to a turn 0 play is all you need, really. Sometimes just opening the Fleurdelis plus low is enough going second to completely end their turn. You just summon it during the end of main, and then during the end phase, you pop their back row, or you pop their monster and you pop their back row, and then it's a hop, skip, and a jump from there. So this is my Voiceless Voice package. I've been working on it for a long time. I've been playing it for a long time. I've been, well, trying to find games for a long time. I sincerely hope you guys try it out, and let me know in the comments what you think.